The reason we have first-class fishing in Grand Rapids is due to the efforts of the Michigan Department of Conservation. In 1966, at the Platte River Hatchery, the Department of Conservation released coho fingerlings, hatchery reared from eggs given by the state of Oregon. The salmon migrated to Lake Michigan and fed on its enormous alewife population. The salmon planting was so successful that it created a fishing frenzy. The desire to catch the sporty salmon was called coho fever. The salmon grew at tremendous rates. Some of the returning fish after 18 months in Lake Michigan grew to 20 pounds. Here is a behind-the-scene look at the Platte River Fish Hatchery. The eggs are obtained from coho that come back to spawn in the Platte River. Each one of these trays holds 6,000 coho salmon. The trays have a continuous flow of water through them. There are over 1 million eggs being carefully taken care of at the hatchery. This is the Platte River Hatchery outdoor building for salmon fingerlings. Once the eggs are hatched, the small fish are placed in tanks called raceways. Each raceway holds 100,000 fish. These are toddler salmon playing around. They will be planted in rivers in the spring. The beautiful Platte River flows through the hatchery's property. If you look closely, you can see two fish, a male and female, that come up the river to spawn. There are 15 trucks that are kept busy in the spring transporting small salmon to rivers in Michigan. The Platte River Fish Hatchery is delivering 72,000 coho salmon to the Grand River in Lansing, Michigan. The coho are 18 months old. The salmon focus in on the chemical characteristics of the stream they are planted in. When salmon smolt, they go through changes, much like an adolescent going through puberty. It is during this time that the imprinting process of obtaining the chemical characteristics of the water occurs. They will use this information to return to this location after spending 18 months in Lake Michigan. The salmon will start their journey to Lake Michigan. It will take them about 3 weeks to swim downstream from Lansing. The coho will then find their way back to this location after spending 18 months in Lake Michigan. The vast majority of sport fish restoration is paid for by anglers who buy fishing equipment and licenses and those who purchase fuel for motorboats. Anyone who enjoys Michigan's lakes, rivers, and streams benefit from these purchases. There is a very unique atmosphere in downtown Grand Rapids. Amongst the skyline of the city, there is world-class salmon fishing in the Grand River. The Grand River sculpture and fish ladder were dedicated on June 6, 1975. The sculptor is Joseph Kinnebrew IV. Kinnebrew created this beautiful ladder, which is like a piece of sculpture in its own right. And he designed it in such a way that people in the river and the salmon all think it is beautiful. The pleasing way in which the fish ladder blends in with the city and helps Mother Nature is important. Check out the activity at the fish ladder and notice an extremely big salmon working its way up the ladder. These fish are two examples of determination. There are two different spawning cycles. The coho and the Chinook salmon spawn in the fall, whereas the steelhead spawn in the spring. The salmon are returning from Lake Michigan to the rivers they were planted in to spawn. After the salmon had been swimming around Lake Michigan for 18 months, the ones smart enough not to get caught know it is time. The 6th Street Dam is the first obstacle they encounter in their journey. Wow! First-class fishing in Grand Rapids. Why don't you catch the thrill too?